Stone County Extension saves the world. Hello, welcome back everyone to the Stone County Extension Saves the World podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's Monday.
Monday. It's another Monday. We've made it through another week.
But it's been a good Monday.
Yeah, we had a little bit to do.
Yeah, a little eventful morning.
We've got a big week planned, but this morning had some unexpected tasks.
Yes, I led exercise at Extension Get Fit this morning, and one of our members had caught a skunk, and she couldn't find anyone that was gung ho to come take that thing away for her.
Yeah,
and
people don't want to get sprayed.
Yeah, wonder why. And one of the other Get Fitters was like, I bet you know somebody. Could Tyler do that? And I thought, well, I better ask him before I volunteer him.
Yeah.
And
I was willing to do it. I was like, it'd be good experience. You never know when it'd come in handy. I mean, I get calls all the time about how to trap these critters, and now I'll
you've
be
relocated a few.
I've done armadillos. I've went and caught snakes.
Yeah, we've had a few. We had a couple snakes around here.
I have had to go look at bats one time. I don't want to mess with those. So anybody that's like, oh, I got a critter, call the extension office. I heard on a podcast that he'll come get it. I do not do bats.
You draw the line there.
Yeah, I draw the line at bats. But relocating a skunk, it was pretty easy. I got a blanket. Like they had done caught it in the trap, and like I just pull up to her house, and like I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk around, and hopefully he don't see me, and I'm just going to toss this blanket on him, and then I'll go take him and relocate him. And
I'd like to add that the blanket trick doesn't always work. One of Brennan's cousins got sprayed as they took the blanket up, so it's not foolproof, but it at least kind of knocks the spray down.
Yeah, I walked, it was by her shed. I guess it was living under her shed, but I walked around and got close, and I was trying to be silent, but she's like, he's lifting his tail. And I just threw it over him and just kind of stood back and waited for a couple of minutes, and then I told her what I was going to do to him so she wouldn't worry, because some people are like, oh, I want rid of him, but don't kill him.
Don't take him to Lonesome Ridge.
Yeah, don't send him to heaven. But I didn't send him to heaven.
You sent him to the National Forest.
Yeah, the Ozark National Forest. So if you're out there.
He was really pretty.
He was a pretty white one.
If you want to see a video of him, he's on our Facebook, UADA Stone County Facebook page.
Yeah, but so when I picked him up after I threw the blanket on him, I carried him and put him in the back of my truck, and I could kind of start smelling him then, and I was like, oh no. And
you brought him to the office.
I brought him in case y'all wanted to see him.
We didn't.
So then I took him down to somewhere in the Ozark National Forest, and like she'd said that trap, you just turn it upside down and the thing will open. Well, I was going to try to video him, you see those videos of when they release bears and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll video this. And
see if he turns around and gets you.
Yeah, I was videoing and turned it over and turned it upside down, and it didn't open. And I was like, what the heck? And so I set my phone down and started fiddling with it. And then I see his head poke up, and it had come open, and I just stepped back. And he luckily just kind of ran off in the woods. And then I was able to pick up my phone, and I videoed him kind of getting away.
Fire at you or anything.
Yeah, I think he knew that I wasn't going to eat him.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's a good deed of the day.
He didn't get me. But yeah, he was a pretty white skunk. But I'm ready for next week. Getting through this week, we've got brucellosis vaccinations tomorrow, and then Wednesday we're taking the youth leadership kids to the ropes course, and that'll be fun. I'm participating this year because we did it last year, and me and you just kind of stood around and let them get up there. So it seemed like a long day, and so I figure if we participate with them, and they'll be more
afraid that I'll get up there and not get down.
They'll be able to release you down, I'm sure. I've done the ropes course.
Lower me.
Yeah, I've done the ropes course at the 4-H Center. It's pretty fun. We'll see. We'll get up there with the kids. The one that they have over there is that the jump off thing. I wonder if we'll do that where you climb up the pole and then you get up and stand up and like swan dive off of it.
Yeah, I'm
You
not.
gonna do that?
No way.
That's one that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna do that. Then Friday, going back, gonna do the fun day at the middle school, do the archery, and then we got our food drive.
Yeah, it'll be a good
And
week.
then so busy week, but then next week, taking leave, going deer hunting, and it's Thanksgiving. I'm ready.
Time for all the fixins.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat all the fixins.
What's your favorite fixins?
I like ham. Ham's good with cranberry sauce, and then I like stuffing.
Or dressing?
What's the difference?
Well, one's in and one's out.
Oh, well then I don't know that I've ever had stuffing because I've always had it out of the casserole dish.
Out of the turkey.
And I've never had it out of the turkey. What's that? What's it made out of? It's guts.
No.
Mixes guts together
I
and
think it's more bread based than cornbread
Bread-based.
based, but I'm not totally sure because cornbread dressing is one of my favorite fixins. And then I like fried turkey. I do like ham. We've kind of got spoiled. We like one kind of brand of ham at my mom's.
they church yesterday they had like a little potluck, and I usually don't eat like sweet potatoes or anything, but I was like, well, I better try. Don't want to offend anybody, so I'll just try a little bit of everything. But there was some sort of sweet potato dishes like mashed up, but daggum, it was like they had put sugar or something,
Was
brown
it? Did
sugar.
it have marshmallows on top,
No,
or more of
it
like
was
a crumble top?
It was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like the inside just looked like mashed sweet potatoes, and it was like it wasn't like yams with the potatoes on it. But
Well, yams are only out of Africa.
okay, well, I don't know the
You've
difference.
not had a yam.
But-
I don't know why they call them that because
Yeah.
it's sweet potatoes here, yams in Africa, totally different.
Different
family.
thing, different family.
I spoke to the
I
kids
should
at Real
probably
Special
know-
School about that.
I should probably know that being an ag agent,
Yeah,
but I had no
I'm
clue.
the ag agent today. No, I'm just-
And I'll be the FCS.
yeah, that'll be great. The sweet potatoes
Yeah,
are
'cause
part
I
of the
don't know
Morning Glory
nothing.
family.
Sweet potatoes part of the morning glory.
Isn't that
family.
wild?
Yeah.
One year I grew a 4-pound sweet potato. I made a sweet potato casserole out of my one sweet potato. I had a garden at the river that year. And so it was funny because Brandon's Uncle Gary Don took a photo with it like he grew it. And then it ended up in like a family calendar. But yeah, I grew one sweet potato, weighed 4 pounds, and made a whole casserole.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I had about 10 pounds per hill. It was a good year.
Yeah, that is pretty good. But whatever it was, that
It was
thing,
a
I was
good
like,
dish.
dang, that's good. It's like a dessert. Like,
Yeah.
it's real sweet.
My family, they like sweet potatoes more like fried in butter, but Brandon's family loves sweet potato casserole, and so
That
that's
may
what
have
I
been
usually
what it
bring.
was.
But mine has marshmallows on top. I've done a few variations, but
Yeah, it seemed
That's
like
what we
I
like.
could taste it like but it is kind of like the sugar was in it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And then some have nuts, some have coconut.
Yeah,
there's all kinds
whatever
of-
it was, first time I tried it, because
good.
I am kind of picky,
Yeah, you are a bit.
but it was good.
And then Madison, she likes ham and shoe peg corn, or it has like cream cheese in it. And then she likes yeast rolls, which I love a good yeast roll.
Yeah,
I've been trying to figure out yeast rolls for the last several years. We get a lot of requests for classes, and so maybe one day when
Can
I
you do
grow up,
sourdough rolls?
absolutely, yeah, you could. I really like that yeast flavor for the holidays, though.
Yeah,
that's
I like a
kinda-
good roll.
Yeah, I'm not wanting the sour. I'm wanting more of the sweet
Get some
rolls.
mashed potatoes and some brown gravy, and then get a roll and then slop it up.
I've got a story about my great grandpa. My dad said that he would get barrels of slop from the nursing home.
What kind of, like the old food?
Yes,
Okay.
like all their old food.
That's
from
not
the
what my
nursing
first
home.
thought was.
And one time, he was trying to get the barrel off the back of the truck, and it kind of all fell out at once.
Oh.
And he said the slop just went like all in his face.
Oh, man.
And he just wiped off his glasses and then just fed the pigs. So that's my
man.
pig slop
I'd have-
story.
I'd have been gagging.
Speaking of that, since my husband does not listen to the podcast. We talk about it. And so for Christmas, so we'll find out if he actually secretly listens or not. But have you seen those people eating pastrami, that fermented fish?
Yes.
From somewhere
like the
in Europe?
out of the cans.
Yes. I bought some. I cannot wait for that to come in.
Man.
And Tyler started gagging when I was telling that
I've
I bought
seen the
that.
videos of them eating it.
Well, so
like just opening the can.
I've only
like,
seen one guy that just like ate more than one piece.
Yeah, it's like they open the can and it goes.
You're supposed to open it underwater,
Oof.
but they're eating it to watch them get sick and video it. But I cannot wait.
What did he say? He said, "I think I could do."
Yeah, he's like, I think I could do better than them.
Yeah,
so that means
you
we
will
gotta
have to
find
video
out. And then I'm gonna bring it here, and we're gonna see how long Tyler lasts, which
Not-
won't be long.
Won't be long. Like
I just can't imagine how bad it smells. It must be pretty bad.
well, smells get me. Like 'cause,
Yeah.
like that's because anything, something. Just imagine something gross, and you see it there, and like I'll look at it, and then the intrusive thoughts take over, and it's like, what if I licked that? And then I'm like,
Oh my gosh!
"What?"
Why would you think about licking?
I don't know.
Because
I'm
I was
just
sitting here thinking
telling
of the
you
worst, one of the worst smells I've smelled, and licking it never crossed my mind. But you get
the
nose
first
blind
thing.
eventually.
Yeah, that's the first thing when I see something gross. Is like, what if some of that splattered in your mouth? What? Yep. See,
Oh, why? Why?
I'm just
Well,
telling you my
just
thought
think about
process.
that.
Why I'm
Think about the
I
sloth.
have a weak stomach. Seems like.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I do too. I can't say anything.
We get grossed out pretty easy. Like, remember me trying to tell you that
Yeah,
story one time, and I couldn't even tell.
Don't start.
Get to thinking about it. Yeah. But so Thanksgiving's coming up.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay.
So how'd we do on our poll? We were
Okay,
talking about our favorite stuff. The reason is we did a poll, or Anna did.
Yeah, we had a poll, and we have 146 votes, and the clear winner was cornbread dressing. So it had 42 of the 146 votes. And then
not stuffing. We've learned something
dressing.
new.
Stuffing had 3 votes.
Wonder if they're
So-
like me and didn't know there was.
I think they knew.
difference.
I think they knew. I feel confident.
They're smarter than me.
I know one knew for sure because we've talked about it before. But cornbread dressing had 42 votes, and then the second place was 15 votes with ham. So it got past turkey. Turkey had 14, and then after that it was sweet potato casserole. But at one time rolls was winning, so it got past, and then pecan pie, and then just kind of all the rest of the fixins. Just
Gotta have them fixins.
all the fixins, they were just kind of fell in line after that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'll grab a piece of turkey every now and then. I'll put. It's usually really dry.
well, if it's fried, deep fried, it's not dry. It's good, and then I like that. I like ham too. I eat turkey at one family deal and ham at the other, so I kind of eat different fixins at different places.
Well, at one of ours, apparently, we're having fish this year. He caught a bunch of fish.
Oh, like a fish fry?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun. It'll be different.
Yeah, I think so. I like fish.
And Thanksgiving's the only holiday that we really have traditional foods. Usually at Christmas,
We
do a little different.
We go over to my grandma's at Shirley, and she fixes a bunch of different stuff. Like my aunt makes this rice stuff. It's got like it's in like a casserole pan, and it's like rice, and it's got like mushrooms in it. That's really
That's
good.
good. Does that have chicken too, or?
I don't think so. It's like rice and mushrooms. I don't know what she calls it, but I
it's
get
good.
some. Yeah.
Yeah, at Christmas we do like finger foods like wings and shrimp and all those things. So I really get my, traditional Southern dishes
Yeah.
at Thanksgiving.
Well, what were you going to talk about with this poll? Like, why'd you send it out?
Well, with Thanksgiving coming up, I was thinking about food safety. And so, how often have you seen food sit out all day? at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I've seen it here and there, and I know what happens.
Well, if I was in charge, it most definitely would sit out all day because...
Because you're going to eat all day.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just going to be like, it'll be fine.
I'll be fine. So the best practice is to have everything put up within 2 hours so that you can have it as leftovers. If you leave it out for more than 2 hours, you should discard it. It's not safe anymore. So kind of the rule is keep the cold foods cold and the hot foods hot. So if you're trying to keep things cold, you may kind of like nest some bowls or some different things into ice, trying to just keep those temps down. Or if you're trying to keep it hot, maybe a chafing dish or a warming tray.
What type of stuff could happen if, say, you leave it out longer than 2 hours?
Well, bacterial growth, and then say that somebody was sick and was there and may have got their hands onto some things and left at the correct temperatures.
How are y'all grabbing food at your family? Just reaching in the pot and scooping
not at
it
my family.
out? Oh, you've been a place where you just... That's what we do at our houses. It's like, just scoop the casseroles out and put it on your plate. You know how I am about washing my hands.
Well, that's concerning.
Yeah, so think about that, folks.
Well, give plenty of tongs and scoopers, but if you sneezed or something, for instance, or it had bacteria on it and it sat at the improper temperature, or flies also can bring in Shigella. That's a foodborne illness. So
Sounds
they'll
like a
land
mushroom.
on, yeah, it does, doesn't it? They'll land on feces, and then they could come land on your food and possibly transfer some things. But anyway, 2 hours needs to be back in. Keep cold foods cold, hot foods hot. So below 41 degrees Fahrenheit for cold, 135 or above for your hot food. So crock pot, it's a great moment for it to shine, keeping things warmer. Those warming trays, chafing dishes rather. And then make sure that if you keep them at safe temps, you can have those as leftovers. And that's a major goal for me because I don't want to cook the next few days. So make sure you keep them that safe temp and you can have them for leftovers. And then when you reheat them, you want to get them to a minimum internal temperature of 165 degrees.
Speaking of leftovers, how we'll always keep our leftovers in the fridge, and then sometimes like a week later, I'll be like, I wonder if that's still good.
You can technically keep them for 7 days, but probably 3 to 5 is probably the top end of what you would want. So
someone need to be eating your leftovers within 3 to 5 days.
3 to 5 days, and if you're kind of tired of them, you could shred the turkey and make dumplings, or I have a friend I went to high school with, and he makes turkey gumbo. You can repurpose some of those things you might be getting a little tired of them, or ham and beans. You can do some different things. I've seen where they've taken dressing and make like croutons out of it before. That sounds kind of good.
Yeah. What was it? You were telling me one lady did with like pickled eggs, put that in deviled eggs.
Eggs. One of my EHC ladies would do pickled eggs as deviled eggs.
I bet that would be good.
Now, pickled eggs would also be good for charcuterie boards. I'm not big on like a pickled chicken egg, but I love pickled quail eggs, and I've made some here, and they were really good. Now, pickled eggs do have to be refrigerated for safety. They're not going to be shelf stable. But a pickled quail egg with garlic and peppers, that's really good. And then speaking of pickles, so we've got pickles here on our table. I'm not big on cucumber pickles, but I love the other kind of pickles. And if you're doing a grazing board or a charcuterie board, you also need to be safe with that too. So anything that needs to be refrigerated, you need to only put small amounts on your table and change those out fairly often. So, but these pickled green beans are delicious, and then I'm working on pickling some asparagus. It's more of a refrigerator style pickle.
Yeah.
Pickled okra. Those are some cool things you could add to your boards this holiday season.
And they're good. Like, we tried some of this. We got laid out on the table some of those pickled green beans.
Yeah, those pickled green beans.
And
that recipe is
the recipe
the
on the pickled okra is good too.
Yes,
they're probably the best that I've ever had.
Yeah, you need to have fresh okra, and that's kind of a little hard to get a hold of right now. but you could get some pretty fresh green beans at a few stores. And
it's a good opportunity to think about your garden next year.
Yes. Yeah. pickled
add
okra.
me some okra to do some of the best pickled okra that ever existed. Because it was good. Like, I'd eat, just the canned stuff from the store, and that's good okra. And then we were at the conference. And at one of the hospitality rooms, he had some pickled okra and pickled green beans. And he's like, yeah, it's out of that book.
The So Easy to Preserve.
Yeah, So Easy. I just use that. And he's like, I use fresh dill. And it was...
Yeah, my sister keeps me in with the fresh dill. And then we've actually had a little bit of dill in our arrow garden.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you really want to elevate your charcuterie boards or grazing boards, make your own pickles like that and have a variety. We ate at a restaurant in Kansas City last year, and they had like different pickled things. So they had like pickled beets and different stuff, and that was like your, instead of chips and salsa, you got some kind of pickle, and that was really cool. But speaking of charcuterie boards, you also need to keep those you need to be safe with those too and not have them out an extended period. So if it's a meat that's cured and already can be at room temperature, or cheeses, like your nuts, your crackers and all that, that can stay out. But you need to be changing out your fruit and vegetables within every 2 hours. Condiments and different things like that, just do small containers so you're regularly changing that out and you're not exposing those things to long-term bad temperatures. So in the soft cheeses, you're going to need to make sure that those are not just sitting out. And make sure there's plenty of tongs and toothpicks, because people are bad on charcuterie boards to try to just grab it with their hands. So really try to encourage,
If you have my thought process, if it's not coming off on my pants, it won't come off on this food. And let me go in here.
That'd be fine.
Let me touch it. Test. That's how if you're anywhere with me.
Oh, are you really
eating with me? I'm like, ooh, that one's firm. That one's.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that one will be good.
You'll never be invited to anything. Oh. Well, it's fine to touch your own food, but food that other people are going to be eating, that's not okay. So you don't want bare hand contact with ready-to-eat food. So tongs, toothpicks. Try to eliminate anybody who's questionable in their hand washing skills, and try to mitigate some of the flu season and things spreading around.
Be more aware of that now. I mean, you can say that you've made an impact on me. I've started washing my hands a little more after you've started talking about all the
That's good.
gross things.
It's about time that you wash your hands better.
Start washing my hands better.
Well, speaking of cleanliness, what are some things people could be doing in their garden right now?
Yeah, it's that time of year. We're mid-November. Thanksgiving's next week. When you said cleanliness, I almost smell myself.
You forget deodorant sometimes.
Yes.
Good thing winter's coming.
Gross person. But anyways, so what you can do in your garden to clean it up, probably most of our stuff's played out after the frost, unless you're doing like a cool season garden, but your warm season stuff, tomato, peppers, they're probably all croaked.
Yeah, Karen's broccoli was looking great the other day.
Yeah, but so what we can do for them is go in and take them out. We don't, pull them out of our beds or pull them out of the ground and just kind of get it, cleaned up for next year, cleaned up. We don't want a bunch of dead
And you
plants.
said, too, we could snip them, right?
So rather than pulling them out and, roots and all, it'd be better just to cut them, at ground level. That way the roots can decompose, and that'll add organic matter to your soil. And that's something that, being sustainable, that's your goal, increasing your organic matter by natural means is kind of one of your things you're thinking about. And when we cut that root ball off and leave it in the ground, it's going to decay. All the microbes will feed on it and increase your organic matter. In a garden, we typically want our organic matter to be like 3 to 5%. And how we can increase it is either planting like a cover crop or something that's going to grow, have biomass that we can, either lay it down or you can terminate it some way. How they do it in like those no-till gardens is they'll like use like a log and a stamp and like crimple it like you'd see like you'd do a crop circle. You kind of terminate it by that way, and then as it decomposes, it stops it from growing, and it'll increase your organic matter. Or we can say pull out those old plants and throw them in our compost pile and compost them over, the winter, allow it to rain or snow on it, and that is that pile, depending on how you do it, it'll heat up underneath there, and then that'll slowly start decomposing, and that'll turn to compost. So you can do what's called fast composting or slow composting, and with fast composting, after it heats up, it's going to start cooling back down. If we'll go in there and like turn it, flip it over, it'll start that heating process again, and we can speed up the amount of time we get to compost. But a lot of people just do a pile and they'll just throw their scraps in there, old garden stuff as we've cleaned it up, throw the old plants in there, adding green matter. One thing with compost we think about is having a good carbon to nitrogen ratio. Have you ever heard of the browns and greens in composting?
Yeah, from you.
Yeah. Makes sense. You've heard of it.
Yep.
So typically, like if it's a larger piece of wood, that's going to be a higher carbon to nitrogen ratio, whereas like green stuff's going to be a lower. You can have a mixture of that, but what you want to shoot for is like the 25 to 30% carbon to nitrogen ratio, and that's going to make your best compost. So you can look that up online to see. They'll give what the different carbon nitrogen ratio is for different things, so you can kind of figure out, well, I can add this that's a 7 and this that's a 20, or
to
this
try to get
that's
to
a
your
50 to
30
get
to
to
1.
that 30 to 1. And what we can use compost for is, it's not really, people think of it like, oh, it's my fertilizer. Well, yeah, there are nutrients in it, but it's more of we're adding organic matter. And what organic matter does is, like in a heavy clay soil, it can loosen it up to make it more well-drained. Or if we've got a really well-drained sandy type soil, we can add organic matter and it'll make it better water holding. And we want to have good water holding capacity, but we also want to have good air space or pore space in there for actually air. We don't want the roots just sitting in water,
Yeah.
or they'll drown or rot at least. But so we can use that compost to increase our organic matter, and then if you do, if you can add other amendments, which would be like your fertilizers, and typically what we're looking for is your macronutrients is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Your secondary nutrients is like sulfur, calcium, and then your macros are going to be like molybdenum, copper, boron, iron. Those are going to be like micronutrients. And so the plants, they still need it, but they just don't need as much. Kind of similar to us. They need a little bit more nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and then not as much calcium, sulfur. One way we can know how much to add is by doing a soil test. And here in Arkansas, we offer free soil testing through, if you're listed in another county, you can just take, we need about a pint of dirt. You can take it in, and I've collected over the years, people bring them in like mason jars or coffee cans or Ziplocs, or you can stop by an extension office and get the actual little boxes. But what we're going to end up collecting is about a pint of dirt, and fall's a great time to do soil testing, just because we can, if our pH needs to be changed, that takes a little bit of time. And if we're waiting until the spring to say we do a soil test and it says we need lime, we put it out, well, it's going to take it maybe up to a few months for it to actually change our pH. I've been to a few trainings where we've had soil scientist guys there, and they say it's better to use a soil probe rather than a shovel, just because if you think about digging with a shovel, you might create a little wedge shape where, say, more of the top is represented than the bottom of your sample. And with a cylindrical shaped probe, it's going to be the same width on top and bottom, so we're getting an accurate representation. For, if we're digging down 4 to 6 inches, we want that all to be the same. We don't want to have more on the top of the, say, the topsoil represented than the 3 or 4 inches deep. And we have probes here at the office that I loan out to guys or ladies, anybody. I loan them out, and you just have to sign saying you'll bring it back and put your name and address.
So we know who has it
Yeah,
when we get to looking
I've
for it.
loaned one out in July one time and forgot, and
Oh yeah, it didn't get wrote down.
yeah, it didn't get wrote down, and then it showed up one day, and I was like, cool. I thought I wrote this off.
It's like 2 years later.
Yeah, but I got it back. It wasn't quite 2 years.
Oh,
It was like a few months. They come and borrowed it in July, and then like brought it back in the fall. I think it was a couple years ago, wasn't it? Or last year.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, but, well, we loan out probes, and when you go take a soil sample, whether it's a garden or, a hay field, how we want to do it, we don't want to just dig down in one spot and fill up the box, but we want to go and get several sub-samples, and, that could be 12 to 15 little core samples, and then we mix all that dirt together and put that in a bucket and shake it up or something, and then that's what we put into our pint box. And so also it's a good recommendation that your sample doesn't represent more than 20 acres, say if you're doing a pasture or hay field or food plot. But anything that's growing out of the soil, it'd be a good idea to get a soil test done. Again, they're free to do. They're easy to do. So soil test, what it'll tell you like your pH. For garden vegetables, typically want to be around 6 to a 7. For grass, wants to be a 6 to a 7. If you're growing like blueberries, that's where it likes more acidic soil. It wants to be like at a 4.5 to a 5.5. And say we do a soil sample and then it comes back that we need to adjust the pH. That takes a little bit of time to play out, like how we might want to raise our pH if our soil's too acidic. And here in Stone County, a lot of soils typically like a 5.5 to a 5.7 just naturally. And for grass, we want to raise that up a little bit, or for vegetables, we want to raise that up a little bit, and we'll apply something like lime. And there's all different types, like there's your ag lime and your pelletized lime. On our soil test, it gives a recommendation for how many pounds or how many tons per acre. And like if you're doing a garden, it'll be pounds per 1,000 square foot. If you're doing like a pasture or hay field, it'll be on pounds per acre or tons per acre. And we can put that out in the fall, and it can change and be ready to go, change our pH by the time stuff starts growing in the spring. And I think I've talked about it on here before about how, it can, if the pH isn't right, grass, even if our fertility's good and and there's plenty of nutrients, the soil, plant available nutrients in the soil, it might not be able to access them. It gets bound up in the soil. So we want to neutralize that soil with some ag lime if we need to raise the pH. If you need to lower the pH, we'll add stuff like sulfur. And typically, at like most of your stores where you're buying fertilizer, they'll have like a soil sulfur. It's like 90%. And that'd be for something like someone growing blueberries, or if you've got like acid-loving shrubs like azaleas or something, we'd want to keep that pH a little bit lower. But fall's a good time to do it. Mention cleaning up, your garden. Now would be a good time, cover with mulch or something. Or if you're starting a new garden bed, we could lay down some black plastic, and that'll kill all the grass underneath it. That way it'll make for easier planting in the, when you start in the spring.
Yeah, you're not fighting.
Or if you're planning for wanting to have like a cool season type garden, you want to get prepared, because that stuff's you put it in the ground back in September, or you can go in like in February and plant like your broccoli or lettuce or any of your cool season type crops. What else?
Anything like if you're got equipment.
Yeah. So tools, like if you're using like shovels and stuff, be a good idea to sanitize them. Wash them with some warm soapy water. Add any lubricant, rust protectant type stuff, WD-40. If If you got like some pruners, we're going to be doing some pruning possibly in late winter during dormancy, especially if you got stuff like fruit trees or roses or anything that's going to be like summer flowering, like a crepe myrtle. We typically want to prune those in dormancy because they're going to grow their flowers on the fresh new growth. For fruit trees, we're just going in there and doing some like, you want to do heavy pruning during dormancy, like right before that rapid growth, but it'd be a good idea to make sure that those have been stored properly. You've cleaned them, sanitized them with some sort of disinfectant. A good disinfectant would be like a 10% bleach solution, but it is corrosive, so washing that off and lubricating so you don't have a big rusty mess when you go to use them next. But it'd be a good idea to clean up your tools and get them stored away properly for next season, because if you're like me, you'll lose something or you'll not store it properly and it gets messed up and you go to use it and then you're like, cripes, I'll just buy a new one.
Oh gosh, that can get expensive.
It can get expensive, so save yourself some money. You clean your tools, disinfect your tools. Think about whatever you've used that tool on. It got contaminated, if you had problems with disease. These are just some small cultural practices that'll help us out in the future. I usually leave a lot of stuff for future me to deal with.
And, current you's not too worried about it.
And future me, he's usually a lot better about doing those things. But sometimes I get wild hair, and I'm like, you know what? I'll be nicer to old future me, and
treat him better.
Treat him better, and get it done. Well, thanks for listening. I think we'll want to call it good. You have anything else you want to talk about?
No, just happy Thanksgiving.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. And then Christmas is coming. You got your Christmas tree up?
No, I feel strongly the day after Thanksgiving is when my Christmas holiday decorations are out.
Yeah.
I love fall, though. I love fall. But I do leave my Christmas decorations out till Elvis's birthday, which is January 8th.
Elvis the dog or Elvis the singer?
Well, I did have Elvis the dog, but Elvis Presley, the singer.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's nothing to look forward to seasonally.
Are you going to hang up any Christmas lights?
I don't know if I'm going to do lights this year.
When I was a kid, Mom used to have me hang up Christmas lights, and I'd get up in the trees and stroll them out. Mom said it's so Santa Claus could see us. And
nowhere.
See where the house is. So I'm more than willing to get up there and hang up those Christmas lights. But as I got older, I guess it was because of my bad behavior, I was like, Santa, he ain't coming, so I don't want to get up on the roof.
Yeah, you're gonna get coal anyway.
Yeah, so I wasn't really worried about him finding where I was. But
man, Santa still leaves me a stocking. I've been good.
I haven't been good in years.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, I bet. Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.